Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. We're back. Hey, Project Unfarmed. Welcome in. Thanks for the hydrate. Thanks for the stretch. How's everyone doing today? Time for some regular old game dev here. We might have to be working on doors today, which is always so much fun. We need to do a redesign of one of them at least. Let's get all the tools up here. We'll figure out what we want to do. I'm good. I'm still tired from the game jam. And I've got a dentist appointment in a couple hours, so that's fun. So probably a little shorter stream here. All right, so kind of where we're at right now, we've got the new tileset atlas source set up. It's working. The only exception is that we're using like a legacy. We're using the old. We haven't really changed the way doors work, is I guess how I would put it. So we have a number of things we need to do. One, we need to teach the auto tiler about corners. You can see all the little pairs of dots. Those are the corner pieces, parts of the outline. Right now, the auto tiler doesn't know when it's allowed to not draw them. So it only understands edges. It doesn't understand corners. I gotta understand why we're seeing those floor panels on just the left side. Let me see. Let me try to understand what's going on there. What if I extend fully back this way? Do we see the same issue? So now I bet if I cut away, we'll see that weird effect. Yeah, okay, so that's just a side effect of being at the edge of the buildable area. Okay. Well, we just won't be there. There we go. Okay, so I actually need to restrict the buildable area a little further than I currently am. That's okay. We can do that. So we have to fix an outlining trick that we were talking about yesterday, which is causing some problems. I have to decide how. So those are the things we could kind of work on today. We could either start writing new auto tiler rules. We could. I'm kind of tempted to try to set up the doors to work with the new tileset atlas format, because right now the doors are just their own kind of blocks. Oh, the doors aren't actually even doing. Well, for one thing, let's re-enable the invalid door format. I actually have to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Excuse me. So we should be seeing an invalid block when we're trying to place a door and we're not allowed to, but we don't have that set up yet. So let's do that real quick. So what does that involve? Ah, door tile. If door tile is invalid, source ID is... Oh. No, yeah, this doesn't work. And I guess I could make an invalid door layer for now. I kind of want to change this whole thing, so maybe I don't bother with that. So right now our problem is that the doors are handled per block, but all the rest of the auto tiler is handled per face. So I think that's what I want to do, is I want to get those in line with that. Hey, Carrick. You're here from yesterday. Today's the big day. You dumped Unity for Godot. Woo! That is a good choice. You will not be disappointed. You already watched like 2.5 hour video on it. You really like the features. It's really friendly engine. I don't know if you watched any of the Brackeys tutorials for Unity. Brackeys was a very famous Unity tutorial maker. Brackeys came back for Godot, so you should check it out. Let me see if I can grab a link for you. Brackeys Godot tutorial. Wow, is this video a year old already? People are like, Brackeys is back. It was like a year ago. Let me see if I can grab the playlist. Is there Godot? Yeah, there's a playlist. I'm just gonna give you this is the playlist for Bracky's Godot tutorials. It's in the wrong order. You'd probably want to watch it in reverse order. Like you'd want to start with the how to make a video game Godot beginner tutorial, and then you work your way up from there. Hey, Rhiannon Journey. How's it going? Yeah, I have not done a lot of Godot tutorials. I'm like kind of a weirdo. Like when I wanted to learn this, I basically read all of the docs. And then I started trying to do... There are some good tutorials. So if you go to the Godot docs, there is a getting started section. And so they have a tutorial of like a 2D game. They have a tutorial of a 3D game. It's pretty straightforward, but I like to just read the manual. It's kind of a kludgy way to learn, but it helps me when I'm like thinking about something and I'm like, oh, I wonder how do I do this 2D thing? And I pop in there. But yeah, that's congratulations. That's great. We love Godot. We're all about it. I think you will enjoy it as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's not a long series. He's still making them, but he only been doing it for like a year. But it's pretty up to date, I think. And that's always the hard thing with tutorials, right? You like load up a tutorial, it's like 2 years old, and you're like, does the engine still work like this? Like, Godot is pretty stable, but there are new features. All right, so... All right, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make a layer for the door? This song is ridiculous. It was a cool song, but not the kind of song I want to play behind my stream. How's everyone doing so far? Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to change our doors from being block-based to face-based so that they render like the rest of it. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put all of the door sizes that we support on a single source ID, maybe. Because that's how we do it for the regular layers. We have like groups of source IDs for certain... Well, we have groups of source IDs for certain materials, so maybe we can do the same thing. I have to decide how that's going to work, but we don't have to work on that right now. Programming you actually like very much. You have no idea how to make any sort of art. I did not either. Taking other people's assets doesn't sound sweet. You guess you have to learn it eventually. Yeah. I'm not an artist by training. I can't draw freehand for anything, but I've been doing pixel art here for a year or more. I haven't gotten to do a lot of it, but I did just make a pixel art game that I'm pretty pleased with how the art turned out. I don't think the game turned out great, but the art turned out. I'm very pleased with this art for a 72-hour game jam. But it's fun. Pixel art's really fun. I would recommend starting at a very low resolution because it becomes very obvious whether you've made a mistake or not. When you increase the... Some people say small resolution is harder, but I say big resolution is harder because when I do a small resolution, it's like really obvious if you like messed up an apple or something. Like I really enjoyed making this little bear. So I'm just getting started in art too. I'm definitely more of a programmer. But I really enjoyed making this little bear guy. Rhiannon, meh, today's been a tough day. You're trying to work on a feature, your brain is not cooperating and letting you load the entire problem space. You're grasping around trying to understand it. I hate that. I hate that when you're like, if I could only get my head around the entire problem, I could solve it. But your brain just doesn't let you do that. Yeah. So yeah, art is very learnable. Even for someone that doesn't have traditional art skills like me. So yeah, I'd encourage you to keep at it. But also in the meantime, if you haven't checked it out, try the free Kenny assets. So Kenny, K-E-N-N-E-Y. Kenny has a whole bunch of assets, and they're pretty much all available for free. They've got pages and pages and pages of assets. Definitely pay attention to the license if you try to use it for a paid project. But if you're just making a jam game or doing tutorials and you're like, hey, I need input prompts for like the Xbox. Okay, here they are. Great. Or you're like, I'm making a game about mini golf. Oh, cool. Here's a whole mini golf kit. Yeah. Kenny, Kenne.nl. Super good. Kenny assets. Very famous. Very good. How low is low resolution? You have a character 32 by 32. That's pretty low. I'd say that's, for a character, that's low. That's low medium. My characters here are like very slow, but the bear I was showing you, Bernard, they're 16 by 32. So yeah, I think I would consider that fairly low. You like to do everything yourself. You just like having your own things everywhere, no matter how bad they are. That's awesome. Some people just want to get stuff going. Other people, you're kind of like me. I just do everything myself. I like insist on doing it solo and reinventing the wheel all the time. And yeah, I like doing that too. It's definitely slow, but it's fun. All right, so what do I want to do today? So my programming task would be rewriting the auto tiler, and my art task would be like fixing the door. kind of want to try the doors. Kind of want to try doing some art. I think that'd be fun today. So let me get my drawing tablet out here. Yeah, I used to draw with my mouse, but I've started using this like simple, relatively cheap drawing tablet a lot. It doesn't have a screen or anything. It's just a tablet. It's helped my wrist a lot. Yeah, the doors. Yeah, I think we'll work on the doors. If we're gonna do this thing that I'm talking about, where we treat the doors per face, then we need to fix some problems with them. One of the main problems is that they extend beyond their tile. Like if we look at the double door here, you can see that it extends far beyond its region, like beyond its tile region, and that's like kind of unacceptable. The triple door does it too, I think, oh no, the triple door does it too. So yeah, we need to kind of redesign these doors to be self-contained within their tile. Because if we don't, we're gonna have a lot of z-index problems. I guess it's not the biggest deal. No, it's a pretty big deal. So yeah, I think we're gonna redraw our doors to an extent. The only door that's totally acceptable is the single door, obviously. Although, hold on, is this even gonna work? I think the single door is gonna need to be reimagined as a single piece. I don't think we can do this kind of a door if we're gonna do it this way. The white sorting's gonna be a problem. Hey, Kairos OS, how's it going? It's going all right. Thanks. How are you? We're working on doors, I think. We have a bunch of door designs that I like, but we're running into some problems with them. I think we need to reimagine them to an extent. Awesome. Glad to hear it's going well. Let's open our doors here. Are these the old doors? These are the old... man, I really need to clean up this project. Every time I make a new version of something, I keep the old version, and I am just having a hard time keeping it all straight here. Door single... Let's open only the ACE files. So we want to open this. Can I open more than one file at a time? This, and this is what I want to open. There we go. So we've got our single panel door. Yeah, the problem is, so we can do this as a node and it will work. But if we do it as a tile, actually, I guess it's maybe still a proxy. I guess we can keep this. I would like to keep these. Last time you seen it, it was double door placement bug solved. Yeah, the doors are okay. Or what we've done recently is we came up with a new tileset atlas source format. So we've come up with a new format for our tile system that we can use here. And it adds coverage for corner cases, like literal corner cases. We haven't taught the auto tiler about them yet, but I'm thinking about how I want the doors to work with the new system. So now we can make our little area. And it's going to look weird because, yeah, you see these black dots. These are the corners. And so the auto tiler doesn't know how to treat those yet. So we got to teach it. And the door auto tiling is fine for the most part. So we can place like a single door, a double door, or a triple door. Oh, what happened here? Oh, I know. There we go. Yeah, we're not drawing the invalid door, and that's causing a bit of a problem, but... maybe the overextension isn't really a problem, because when the door is open such that someone can walk through it, the door won't be overextended. So maybe it's actually fine. But that does mean we need to keep the doors as nodes. So maybe I'm not actually going to change how this format works. Maybe we're going to keep this format the way that it is. Because the best way to do the doors in my mind is to do them as nodes, so that they can be separate sprites with their own animation players and stuff and whatever they need to work. But that's just they sit alongside all the environmental tiles, like the walls and the floors and stuff. So I need to make sure that they cooperate. Thanks. Yeah, we worked a lot on this stuff to make it look fluid and smooth. We do definitely need to teach them some new rules. All right, so I said we were going to kind of work on the doors, so I guess we should do that. Well, I do need to fix the triple door for one thing. The yellow arrows are misaligned. So we could do that. So yeah, so when this is like done opening, that won't actually be a problem. So I just can't let people walk through the door while it's opening. Or at least up till a point. So if we have an animation player, we could say like, once the door is opened this much, maybe someone can try to walk through it, but not before. Because if you do it before now, well, one, there's doors like quite mostly closed, but we'd have a Y sorting problem. But once we're at this point, we no longer have a Y sorting problem. So maybe we just do something like that. I would rather not redraw these. I like them. I put quite a bit of effort into them. So I think we are going to continue to so the tile layer version of the door is going to remain just a proxy system. And if that's the case, then we do need to add the invalid door back as a thing that we can draw. So this, I do need to fix this though, because these gold arrows are not in perspective. I do need to fix this. All we really need to do is move this down, I think. that's in line now. So that's really all we need to fix for this. We're doing textures. Yeah, I said I was going to work on the doors today. I don't totally understand fully what that means, but I'm going to do it a little bit. What just happened here? Did I like somehow change every layer? I love when I do that, or every frame. I don't totally understand how a sprite works. I'll be very carefully only operating on this frame. Yeah, we really just need to move this arrow down. How's it going, Nix? How are you feeling? Oh, that's good, I guess. I mean, depending on what they said, or depending on, you know, what the results are. I hope they're good. It's always scary waiting for tests to come back. Ah, okay. Well, I hope that unlocks some kind of path forward. Some kind of road to healing. This reminds me of an artist, this song, but I can't think of it. You're some muscles, tendons. Oof. Told you you're playing too much RimWorld. Seems like you overdid it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's a little. Hopefully you're on the path to healing here. No, that stuff's. I'm constantly in a battle with my like wrist and forearm just to make sure I'm not injuring it working all the time here. All right. Okay, arrow moved. That's finally within the right perspective. Kind of silly. And it took so long to get that sorted out. Excuse me. All right, so we need the triple door proxy here. We just fix it here. I don't love having a totally different format for the doors. I mean, I guess I'm going to have a different format for the doors no matter what. So it doesn't really matter. So all I really need to do is fix this here. Yeah. Yeah, definitely take it easy. Nice, nice. All right, what is this file called? Door triple grid proxy. Door triple proxy. Door triple proxy. Okay. We should probably change the format of this a little bit. Maybe not. All right, that should fix the door. What we need to do is we also need to add support for selection. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add a new... Do I have like an invalid door proxy? How are we doing this before? I guess I could go look at the old tile set. Oh, we just used this. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't want to do it this way. You know what? This is what we're going to do. The proxies, we're going to set it up so that the door proxies are per face. And then we will have a system that substitutes those for the actual nodes. Oh, you're unable to sleep? That really sucks. Yeah, I know sometimes when you have a limb injury like that, there's no comfortable position that you're able to find. All right, I think we're going to use a similar system as this, but instead of source ID by material, well, we do still need to do source ID by material, huh? Maybe not, though. We could say door size, single, door size, double, door size, triple. So we could just register additional materials. Turn that off. Okay, yeah, let's change the way this works. So we're not going to do this per block anymore. We're going to set this up as a per face format. And we're just going to decide how. It's going to be a little weird, but it should be okay. Functionally, it shouldn't affect anything. All right, let's start working on that. All right, so what we want to do is we want to make a format kind of like this format. So we have like this format. And we want to do this. I'm gonna do something like this, but we don't need this coverage of like the various edge and corner cases because a door doesn't really. The only exception is maybe this, the Z. The Z faces might still need the outlines. Because that's all you can really... That's the only variation that you would have. That's pretty great. It's hard to get those things scheduled, at least here in the States. But healthcare in the US is generally quite bad. So yeah, it's really hard. I'm glad you were able to get seen very quickly. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set these up. I should probably just split them up like this into even pieces. So like we'd split it up. We'd split up the faces like this and like this. So for the proxies, I think that's okay. So let's do that. Let's say the only question is how much do we want to fit onto a single template piece? Nice, nice. Yeah, the quick turnaround time must help because now you can get treatment because you've got your test result back early. That's sweet. So we'll probably do this in such a way that we don't do mirrors. So let's just make a file and start figuring this out, I guess. Start with something fairly big. Figure it out from there. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this 12 color palette that we were using. I really enjoyed having a limited palette. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that from now on. I really enjoy having very limited palettes when I'm doing a game jam. Otherwise, I get paralyzed in terms of trying to find the right color for everything. Although for my own game, we're pretty maximalist about that. I think I need the high sat expanded for this. Yeah, so for my own game, I have like a pretty huge palette. The 9 color ramp or 9 shade ramp. Can be up to 11 if you go to black or white at either end. I don't love all the shades. Like I don't love this one. It's close to like a pigment ramp, but I think I ramped too cool. I think I went too cold on one end. I did too much of the color shifting, hue shifting, whatever they call it. I don't like making palettes. It stresses me out. I tried just doing RGB and CMY. Kind of. Didn't totally work out. I definitely prefer just picking a palette. But for a big, long game like this, I want to have my own palette because I want to feel like I can expand it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take our doors. We're going to start just slicing them up here. And putting them back together. I'll name them by layer, I guess, or layer type or something like that. Single. We'll see how we want to organize it. It's unclear to me whether we want to organize it by face or by door type. Probably both. I'm going to call this door proxy. Let's call it door proxy block. This will be the door proxy block. So I'm just going to get all the pieces in this big file, and then we'll decide how we want to organize it. So the only question is, do we want to try to mirror these? You know, I've never been quite sure about the lighting that I've done here. Generally, the light kind of comes from above and inside the room. So if you think of it that way, this side should actually be darker and this side should be lighter. Which is not really how I did it. So when you step through the animation like this, the way I've shaded it here, it's actually like the light is coming from the front, like from the camera. I guess if the light is coming from the camera, this is correct. If the light is coming from the middle or the top middle of the room, this is incorrect. I haven't really done a lot of lighting though, so I haven't had to worry about this light yet. There's also an argument to be made that I should not be statically lighting these, but I think it's cool with the door, at least. So the other thing is we don't just need the door, we also need the hidden part. Unless we don't want to. So there's an argument to be made. So eventually these dark gray areas should be textured, and you might actually have like different mechanisms in the door parts than you would like elsewhere. That's kind of how I would imagine it. But maybe not. Like maybe the door shouldn't be rendering this part. Maybe we can have a single door proxy layer, and all it does is handle the actual door panels, And then these panels, we actually handle a different way. I think I like that. I think that's going to be hard to teach the auto tiler about, maybe. But maybe not. That actually might be kind of easy to teach the auto tiler about. Because I would like it if these dark gray tiles, because like if we run the game, you have continuity. So like you have a continuity of the outlines for a given face material. So you can already see on the floor that, you know, we hide the outlines until there's a change of face of some, or change of material or a change of direction. So if you're looking at the way the doors work, currently, if you put a door down here, there is no real continuity. Like, you see the outlines because the door, these doors are individual blocks and there's no continuation, even though it's still that kind of interior wall thing. They're also the wrong shade, but that's a separate problem. So I think I would like continuity there. Except if we go to a half wall. If we go to a half wall cut, you'd kind of imagine that you would see the outlines. I don't know. I'm not actually quite sure how I want to do that. You know what would actually maybe be cool? Is instead of having the outlines on the side, what if we just had one line down the middle like this? Like where they're joined. Like what if instead we had something like this? I guess I'm not actually quite sure where that line would be. It would be like this, maybe? It would be a line where the split in the door is. Although if I do that, I really do need these to be the same. No, we're not gonna do the thing I was talking about. I was thinking about I could have these parts be handled by another tile map layer, by like the regular block, the regular wall layers. But I think that would just be more trouble than it's worth. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. I could see an argument for doing it both ways. Or each way, or whatever the correct way of saying that is. I also see the argument for having your own material for doors, which you might want. You might want to show, like, you might want to show one thing when you're looking at a wall, but when you get to a door and you cut the door open, maybe you want to show, like, gear mechanisms or whatever. Something that shows that, hey, this is a door. It has, like, moving parts. I could see that. Maybe we would do something like this. So we're just going to handle the X, we're going to call this a single door X axis. And so we'll just continue splicing pieces of this door here. This is part of the lower layer. Put this here. Yeah. You're gonna bounce? No worries. Thanks, Nix. Take it easy. Hope you feel better soon. Maybe there is still a way to do this as a single layer. So what if we do it like this? Because we can make assumptions about this. Because a door will only appear in certain places. So like we can get rid of these outlines because we know they won't be here. We can guarantee that we don't need them. Because otherwise the door couldn't be here if there wasn't a floor beneath it or a floor above it. So we can get rid of these. Similarly, we know these outlines will be here because a door can't be here if there's like a solid block in front of it. So we could actually continue to use a single door proxy layer. And so what we can do is we can have something like this. Oh, we need a lighter shade here. What is the shade for this? Multi-block. This color right here. Man, I like drawing here. This is a lot less stress on my arm than using a mouse for some reason. So we'll fill this in. Ooh boy. How? Oh, not continuous. There we go. So yeah, we can make guarantees about the outline that we need. So I think we do this, and then I'm kind of tempted to do this kind of black line up the middle because we know that there's a seam here for the door. I think that's kind of neat. So we could do something like this. So you can kind of see that there's a split there for the door. Or we could just have it be continuous, and yet the split only appears when the door starts to separate. Hey, Arneo, you're pleased to announce your asteroids are signaling collision, pretty much how they should. Nice, nice. Yeah, signal chains like that, they either just don't work at all until they totally work. I'm glad you got it figured out. Yeah, so what happens here is the door starts to open and this line appears here. So I guess it's actually okay if the proxy you don't see it. We're gonna need to make animated versions of these doors that are the half block version. That is gonna be fun. He said sarcastically. Yeah, I think no outline is actually better. I think I'm going to replace that with like this. Yeah, I like this. This should not be here, so it's like that. Similarly, it's like this. Looks a little weird, but it'll read correctly. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's not do it per face. Let's do it per block, and we'll just correct the block. Should I do this? So I can do it all on one. I can do it all in one tile set like this. Question is, do I mirror it? I think I can just mirror it because of how I've decided the lighting works. So we can continue to use alt tiles for these. Although maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't use alt tiles and then just... There's a world in which we aren't using the alt tile. And I kind of want to live in that world. So where are our current proxies? This is the current setup for them. Well, I'm glad I already drew this, so I don't have to, you know, do it again. Instead, I think we're going to do it like this. We'll fix this. Yeah, let's do it like this. How much space do we need for this? So it's the weird size, 48 by 36. This one is 64 by 40. These are 40 by 40. Do they need to be 40 by 40? They do not. 34. Oh, these are an awkward size. Okay. These are also a weird size, I presume. $36. Okay, so fitting these into a texture is going to be a little awkward, but that's okay. I think we'll make it happen. Is the length at least reasonable? 48? No, that's also weird. 40. Math time. 32 and 48 and 40. It's 120. So we could do 128 to capture all. Well, that's not exactly accurate. It's 32. It's 40 times 3, which is 120. And then plus 48 times 2, 96. Plus 32, 248. Okay. It can be 256 wide. That should be good. So let's do that. So let's set up all the x-axis ones. And then maybe the y-axis ones. Just to get that nice fit. What is the game you're making? First time saying something like this. We're making, well, right now we're mainly working on this auto tiler tool in Block Builder. But what we're making it for is a few games. The main one, we're kind of building a tech stack that I'm hoping to use for a few different games that are kind of in a shared kind of universe. But the main game is an FTL-like, which is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever heard of FTL, Faster Than Light, but it's a spaceship management game. Let me bring up the Steam page. It's a classic management game you might not have heard of. It's back from 2012. It's about, you have a little crew on your little ship, and you do typical Star Trek things. You like fight other ships. You go on little away missions. It's a starship management game, and I want to make one of these, but I want to do it as like an isometric 2D game that's like layered. I want to have multiple decks, because like a ship like this has like, maybe it has the bridge on top, and then it has like engineering or like crew quarters, and then maybe it has like a reactor room or an engine room, and then maybe it has like cargo bay down at the bottom. So I want to have this kind of 3D space that is this ship. But I want to render it as isometric 2D, or it's not really isometric, but close enough. And that's kind of the kind of game we're working on. This is our main game. But I have some ideas about how to use this tech for some other stuff that I want to do in the shorter term. We're kind of doing the thing that somebody talked about yesterday, which was like make systems, not games. So we're building up this tech and these systems that we can hopefully use in a number of contexts. So we're going to say, oh, this is also, I need to expand the canvas size here. 512 by 512. Xtor single. I can say Xtor single inner, I guess. Outer. I don't know if I need to put these all on different layers, but everyone's always like, you should be using more layers. Arneo, will it be like them expanse ships where it's kind of like a tower with the nose pointed towards accelerating to create artificial gravity? Nose being up in the tower. It's not going to be that realistic. We're probably going to just do the hand wavy Star Trek. We have grav plating and inertial dampeners. Actually, I think they just say dampers. The ships in Expanse are pretty cool. The Expanse. I haven't watched enough of that show. I watched season 1, which I really liked. I loved season 1. I loved the noir part of it. I love the mystery, the like murder mystery aspect of it. I guess it wasn't a murder mystery. It was like a missing persons case. I love that so much. And then that show goes so sideways. And I should pick it back up. Just for the tech, just for like the vibes of like the sci-fi. So you're making that in a pixel 3D kind of thing? Is that what 2.5D means? 2.5D means can mean a lot of things, but yeah, I would think of it as it's a 3D space being represented in 2D, which is kind of at the end of the day how every game is, because we're watching these games on a monitor. But the difference is that all of our art is 2D. So the 3D part is like being faked visually. I do that because I really like pixel art. I have no capacity to make 3D art, as far as I can tell. All right, so we need the inner version of this guy. All right, so so right now we just need an outer and an inner door. That's all we got so far as material types. You can imagine a world where we have different ones. So those are the single doors. So let's start going the double doors here. This new format seems like it's going to at least be simpler than the other formats, which is good. This block template is very vertical. I feel like this other block template we're working on is very horizontal. I don't know if I love that. I guess it doesn't matter for now. So is this packing absolutely necessary? It is, because these cells need to be the same size. No way are these the same. No, they're not. Wait, why didn't I just grab the whole thing? Why did I grab half of it? We could probably leave a little space between them. I don't think that's necessary, but we could. Arneo, Expanse characters didn't work for you at first, except the detective guy. Exactly. Season 1, so good. Love the detective guy. But you grew to like all of them over time. Your fave bring Bobby the Martian Marine. I forget that I constantly forget that these are a series of books, and I think a lot of people, yeah, they're very faithful to the books. The Australian space cowboy thing that the Martians have, I think is funny. It's clever. It's a clever thing to do. But yeah, it's kind of funny that all the Martians are like Australian for some reason. I like the belters. Obviously, my favorite are the belters. The Beltalaudas. But yeah, I really enjoyed season 1. That was so good. It was so interesting to explore that world. That show to me has the problem of the main character being incredibly unlikable. which is rough when that happens. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I don't even remember the guy's name, but I considered him deeply unlikable. Carrick, how do you export sprite animations into Godot? Just a bunch of PNG files? Is there like a plugin in Unity that helps? There are plugins. I don't like them, but there are multiple sprite plugins. I don't use them, but so if you go into your Godot and you look at this asset lib, you go to this asset lib window, you can just say something like search for like sprite. And there's a number of sprite importers here. I don't remember which one's the good one. I think I've tried sprite wizard. There's more of these than there were last time I looked. But yeah, one of these probably help you. You can do it a number of ways. If you have separate PNGs, you can use an animation sprite 2D to use separate files to make a single cohesive animation, or you can do a thing in sprite where, so I'm laying out my sprite sheets manually, but you can also, if you have an animation like let's look at Bernard here. So if you've got like this guy, and this guy has like, you know, all my animations are, well, that's not a great example, but if we go to like his walk animation, that's like, it's like 4 frames and they're set up as frames like this. So what you can do is you can tell sprite here, you can say export sprite sheet, and then you can tell it how you want to pack it. So right now this is packed as rows. So it just builds a single PNG for you. And so instead of rows, you could say packed, in which case it tries to make, you know, this is what it got for me. And so you can use it, so you can save, you can export a single sprite sheet and then import it into Godot as one file, and then you can break it up either with a sprite or just a sprite 2D that's maybe powered by an animation player, or an animated sprite 2D, which is its own thing, its own type of node. But yeah, there's definitely options. There's lots of options. A remarkable thing about Godot is its flexibility. All right, you know, you're Arneo, you were in deep. You know all about that Expanse. I might watch season 1 again at some point. I really enjoyed that. Why can't... There we go. Gotta go. Yeah, no worries. I stream around this time 5 days a week, so generally Tuesday through Saturday. So yeah, I'll be here tomorrow and Saturday around this time. But yeah, take it easy. Good luck on your Godot journey. Very exciting. right. This case is a little interesting because of this top piece here. It's very clearly a separate piece. Huh. How do I want to do that, actually? I guess that should have an outline. Yeah, it should. Although it's gonna look weird. Oh, no, it won't. It won't look weird. I don't think. So if we, like, took this and moved this in front of this, yeah, it hides that. Okay, sick. So instead, we just need to paint these off. Arguably, I should just copy this and then paint the doors over again. It's kind of hard to say what's easier. I need to make one of my pen buttons alt so that I can sample colors easily. Still getting my workflow down for this tablet. All right, single door and double door for the X faces. We got these now. Now we just need triples. X door, triple. Outer. Alex Sersky, thinking about streaming game dev. How's it going for me? Welcome in, pretty good. We actually just had our 300th live stream yesterday. So I've been doing about a year and a half. I started in like February of 2024. So a little over a year and a half. I like it. I've started to get the hang of it. It's been fun. It's really good in terms of accountability. So if you've had a hard time like keeping up with the routine of making time for game dev, because like I have a day job that I do before and after I stream game dev for a few hours every day. So in the past, it'd be easy to just not do it because you're like, I'm tired, or I got an errand to run, or I could do chores. But once you get a streaming schedule going, it's really good to keep the momentum. I like it. I've met a lot of great people. If your goal is to like grow your brand, I think it's pretty good. I think nowadays the market is so, it's so choked with stuff. It's like it's very busy, it's very cluttered. I think it's a pretty great way to get a little bit of a following, which can be really important. What are you looking to get out of it, I guess? Do you post devlogs simultaneously? I do not do any devlogs. So I only do live stream. At this time, I do not want to do any edited videos. Because there's a point at which Edited videos are hard. They take a long time. Like, editing time can be like 10, 20x the runtime, right? So let's just assume 20x. Because I'm not a good video editor. Maybe you're a good video editor and you could do it in 10x. But like if you have a 5-minute video, it takes you 20x. It's like almost 2 hours to like make a 5-minute video. If you're making a 20-minute video, you're spending like a third of your week just making a video. So I think that's another route that can be really good. I think edited videos is different. I think you could have a lot of success with that as well, especially if you've got something that can do well on a short form. Like I don't do TikTok or anything either. I think I'm too old to understand how to do that. But yeah, I think as the games that I work on get more complete and complicated, I think I will eventually have to do edited videos. Like there will eventually be a day where I need to do like, not even just trailers, but like maybe I'm like maybe when we're totally done with this editor tool, I would like to make like a 20-minute video about, here's my auto tiler block editor thing. Look how cool it is. Like, I think that could be really good. Here's the thing about edited videos. Edited videos are like, they're quote unquote evergreen content. So like this live stream is good. People find it. YouTube recommends it. I'm also streaming on Twitch. Live stream is nice for like a community building thing. But you know, after a day or two, YouTube won't recommend this to anyone. YouTube will recommend this to people right now and for the next day or two, and then as like a VOD. And then after that, you just forget about it. It's gone forever. But when you make an edited video, that's like so-called evergreen content that people will find. Especially your devlog 0, quote unquote devlog 0. More people will watch your devlog 0 than anything else you ever make in terms of video content, because everyone wants to know how you started. Everyone wants to see the beginning of your journey because they're probably on the beginning of their journey. And so if you have a devlog 0 and you have not set up like a Steam page, if you don't have somewhere to point them, if you don't have something for them to do at the end of the video, like if you're not capturing that attention, huge wasted potential. So like I'm not going to do edited videos until I have a Steam page, until I'm looking for wish lists, right? So yeah, I think you need to be very purposeful about that part, about when you think you're ready to do that and what you want to get out of it. Because yeah, it's a lot of work. But I think it's cool. I would highly encourage you to get started on something like that. I think it's great. I enjoy it. Be warned, once you live stream for a while, you'll catch yourself just like talking, just narrating things. Like I'll be sitting alone at the beach just like talking about what I'm seeing. You start to get used to monologuing. It's hard to turn that off once you get that going. Yeah, it's really cool. I found a lot of success live streaming like game jams, especially. Game jams grow my channel a lot. Like we just did a game jam last weekend, and every time I do a game jam, my channel grows by like 5% or something like that over a weekend, which is great. You'd like to be able to use social media as a form of marketing for future projects that might be bigger. You do agree that the overview towards the end of the project showing a chunk of progress rather than like monthly devlogs like can halt progress significantly. Yeah, I think I'm most likely to do a devlog if I finish like a major feature that I think could help sell the game, which for me is this block editor tool, which is the foundation. Because I don't know if you've watched me before, but we're making a bunch of tech that I'm hoping to use in multiple projects. But the main project, like the big overarching project, is this FTL-like game. So like a kind of Star Trek Starship Simulator thing that's in isometric 2D. So the major tool that we're working on, or a combination of tools that achieve a goal, is like what I call the tile block editor. And it's the tool that will let you like build these worlds, these like ships and stuff, and space stations and star bases or whatever. It's pretty bare bones right now. We're really just like gray boxing it. And we just upgraded the auto tiler, so don't mind the weird little dots. Don't mind our dust. We just changed our format. So we have a thing that's an auto tiler. We have a cutaway system. We have a compartmentalization system. So you can tell that when I made this room, it changed. Yeah, so this is like exterior space, the middle tone gray, and then the light gray is an interior space. So we have a bunch of different systems that are all working together. And I think when I'm done with this and I could show like a time lapse of me like building a spaceship or something, I think that would be a cool 15-minute video or something that I'd be willing to put, like a week's worth of work, put like 30, 40 hours to record and edit like a 20-minute video about it or something. But like short of that, I don't see a lot of utility in doing that kind of work right now. To me, it's just better to kind of live stream and like slowly grow my audience over time. And yeah, it's very unsexy work we're doing right now, but eventually it will build up to something that I think is worth sharing. We're not there yet, but we're working our way there slowly. Right now we're working on doors. The bugbear of game development. The door. Am I developing solo? That's some cool functionality. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is solo. So it's very much we do one thing at a time. So we have like a roadmap, and this is the wrong vault. It's from the game jam we were doing. So we have this tile block editor, which is the thing that we're working on right now. We've still been working on this new tile atlas format a lot. We've been kind of stuck on this for a long time. But we're working through this editor. It is part of a larger roadmap towards a released product. So we have a plan as far as, how do I move this? Middle mouse? Zoom. So we have a roadmap to getting to like an alpha, which the tile block editor is just a piece of. Like once we're done with the editor, we want to make a simulation so that the ship can actually, power can be distributed throughout the ship, characters can run around the ship. We need a scenario editor. We have a plan. We also have some side projects that I want to work on with using parts of the tech. So we have a plan. But yeah, as a solo developer, you really got to put your attention in one place at a time. So I like to focus on a feature until it's done and then move on, which is not the most exciting, which is also why I don't, put out a lot of shorts or anything. Those darn doors. What's the software we use for planning? I like Obsidian. That's what I'm using. Obsidian's pretty neat. I need to get rid of that other vault. This is our default. But Obsidian's pretty cool. It's got this canvas. So it's got normal stuff like it's got like regular pages, like you can fill stuff out. You can write regular things and have like, you can have a kind of a database of like written text. So like this can link out to another page and all that stuff, all that good stuff. But what I really like are the canvases, because the canvases let you do this neat stuff. Like, here's a comparison I did between, like, faster than light, FTL faster than light, and, like, into the breach. And I could, like, put in all these images and tables and get text in here. And it's like an infinite canvas thing. Very cool. Very cool tech. I know some people use, like, Leonardo or Figma. I've been enjoying Obsidian for this stuff, especially now that I've discovered this canvas tool inside of it. It's a free software, too. It's pretty good. I recommend. You're working on your first ever project. You started to get used to the engine. Cool. Which engine? I'm gonna guess Godot, but it could be anything. Kind of just jumped into the deep end. You're seeing the consequences of lack of planning. I've been right there with you. I have been trying to make a dream game for like a decade. It's had many different incarnations and lived many different lives. It's never really gone anywhere. This is the most traction I've ever gotten on it when I switched kind of my idea for it and I moved to Godot a couple of years ago. Should I just duplicate this? What does this button do? Is that middle mouse? I don't know what that button does. All right, so we'll got this. We need to move it over. And then recolor it. Oh boy. Just downloaded it. Obsidian. You just downloaded Obsidian. Cool. Yeah, it's cool. Godot. Yeah, you're working in Godot. Sick. We love that. We love to see that. All right. Which button could I make? I mean, I know which button I could make. Wacom. Let me control my pen settings. The mapping, orientation, express key lifts, pen, right click. Oh, that's double click. No, I don't want that to be double click. I want that to be keyboard modifier alt. Doesn't really matter which alt. Cool. Sick. So now when I'm drawing, I could just on the pen hit this button here and then sample a color. I love that. Cool. Ooh, uh-oh. Interesting. Those are the same colors. Okay, so that's the X face. We got it. So single, double, triple door for the X faces. You haven't suffered from scope creep as much as others probably have. You've definitely wasted time on features you didn't end up using. Yeah, exploring content and then ultimately not pursuing it is definitely a time expenditure that I think is unavoidable if you're doing interesting work. So can I just copy all these layers and then flip them? And am I done? Is that it? Will I be done once I've done that? How big is this? 80. 80 is not great. But whatever. 512 by 128 is not a bad size. Is there a better way I could structure this, though? So I'm thinking about texture packing here. This is 120, so we could go 128 wide. And 80. Not too much of an artist, so you thought 3D with voxel would be easier than pixel art, and it's been an experience. Oh, that's cool. We have a lot of people I know people that work on that stuff. That was definitely an option for me. I decided to just go all in on pixel art. I'm not a trained artist either. Some earlier versions of this project were very voxel based. 72. Yeah, we have a Discord. Love to see the kind of stuff you're working on. So 66, 72, and 80. Do I like that better for packing? $218. And it would be 218 by 128. So 218 is actually 256. So 256 by 128 is one option. That's what we got here. And then the other option would be, what did we just do? Oh, there's no history. I cleared the history. The other option was, oh, no, the other option would not be as tightly packed as this. Yeah, let's just go with this. This is good enough. It's definitely different, but that's why we have options for the tile set atlas format. You gotta go? You're gonna sub? Maybe end up joining this. Yeah. Come by. We stream 5 days a week, so we're right in the middle of it. So we'll be back tomorrow and Saturday, but you know, no pressure. Just come by, hang out when you're working. Do some co-working with us. Yeah, take it easy. Thanks for popping in. Luxursky. Nice to meet you. All right, yeah, let's do this. Let's do what I said I was gonna do, which is to just copy these. Or duplicate them. Wait, why won't you move? There we go. All right, so we're just gonna move these down and flip them. It should be pretty easy. I might be able to do that with this tablet here. Do we want to lock this to the grid? No, we can't. Well, maybe we could. Do this, and then Shift H. Do this. Oh. Probably should be on the right layer. I don't actually need to select. I can just move the whole layer. Shift H. Whoa. Oh, that shifted the whole... I see. That's why we do it with the selection to limit the shift. Or the flip, which is bound to shift. There we go. Do we want the whole thing flipped? Yeah, why not? Like that. Yeah, I like this organization. I'm okay with this. Better to have it all on one file than this pile of files. We can't do it like that, though. Actually, we can. Oh, we didn't go low enough. This needs to be lower. This needs to be aligned with this. So does this. Oop. That was not enough. Need to be even lower, like this. $160, huh? That's a little unfortunate. Maybe... Maybe we have room here for the invalid doors. No, we probably don't. Yeah, whatever. It's such a small amount. I don't care right now. 256. That's like a lot of wasted space. The only other option would be to organize them vertically. I don't feel like that would be much more in terms of savings, though. Because that would be 160 times 2. Plus 160 times 2. Times 2. Oh, maybe it's just 160 times 2 once here. So 160, 160. 144. Actually, I guess it's not 160. It's this, whatever this is. 152. 144. So we could do 144 plus 152 plus 160. 456. And then it would be 160 wide. Oh, so that would be exactly the same, just in the other opposite direction. Because this is 160 wide, I think. Oh, it's 120 wide. Oh, that actually might be better. Because this is 512 by 256. That would be 128 by 512. That would be half the size of this. That would be pretty good. All right. Let's try it. texture packing. That would at least be consistent with what we're doing with the other one as well, I guess. Actually, we need to make this 512 by 512. And then we rearrange everything. So single door Y goes next to, everything goes up here. We could probably also get even more clever with it, but I don't know how clever I want to be. I try not to be too clever. So X door double. All right, this is fine. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. And then the Y versions need to be next to these. Oh, wait. Oh. This isn't 128 wide. This is going to be exactly the same, isn't it? This would be 256 by 512. Well, whatever. We're doing it. Let's try it. I miscounted. I miscounted the men, Liz. Let's see what it ends up being. So it would be this wide. Well, technically it would be this wide. So it'd be 256 wide. 160. 208. It would still be 256 by 512. But it would be. So the choices are 512 by 256 or 256 by 512. If I do it this way, I have room for the invalid block at the top, which would be kind of neat. That would be nice to have at the top. So yeah, let's just do that. I don't even need to put it at the top. I can put it here. But I probably would put it at the top because it looks like we have no shortage of space. Packing problems. Everything is a packing problem, yeah? I could probably come up with an arrangement that was a little tighter here, but I still want it to be arranged somewhat logically. This feels more in line with what we're doing here, which is X, then Y, and then down. A little weird that I arranged it that way, but that's what we did, so we might as well stick with it. Get yourselves organized. Should these be just separate files? Would that just be better in every way? What size is this? 192 by 144. Probably would be better if these were just separate files. This would be 256 by 256. This would also be 256 by 256. I guess it's kind of wasteful either way. I don't think I need to be that concerned. Pixel art is not usually the kind of thing to just jam up a GPU. However, pixel art cannot really be compressed, so it is still something to think about. Wait, why did I do it this way? I'm still doing it wrong. I don't even know what I'm doing, is the thing about me. Would that be better? What does the auto tiler think right now? Okay, so that and then material. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try this. This isn't what I set out to do, but I'm going to see what it looks like. It really doesn't matter how I pack them as long as it's like pretty reasonable. But, you know, I don't think you get into this business unless you have like kind of a weird obsession with like optimizing things. Organizing and optimizing, and that's why everyone gets nerd sniped by Factorio. This is maybe better. Otherwise, it's just this way. It's less than 256 wide. Otherwise, it was going to be more. I think this is okay. So I just gotta move this part. Like this. As long as the format is documented, it doesn't really matter what the format is. All right, I'm going to finish up and then we're going to wrap it up for today. I do have a dentist appointment to go to in about 30 minutes here. Or the dentist appointment is in about 30 minutes, so I got to go. But it's all right. This has been nice. I've still been tired this week, so we've been kind of chilling, which has been nice to do. That's what happens when you do a 72-hour game jam. Especially when you stay awake for 36 hours of it. I'm still really proud of what we accomplished in the 72 hours. I'm a little disappointed in the reception the game has had, which has been pretty mixed. And that always hurts. You should try to do one thing really well in a given game jam, and the thing I tried to do really well was art. And people have been pretty universal in their praise of the art, so that's good. But because of the way I did that, I just really didn't have time to make the game stand out. And so the game suffered as a game. And you know, that's a problem because it's a game. But still very proud of what we accomplished. I say we. It was a solo endeavor, but having everyone's support during the duration of it was really crucial, I think. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Why do I keep messing this up? Here we go. So we do it like this, and then we have room at the top to do the invalid block. And we have just a bunch of empty space, but whatever. Regardless of how we did this, we were going to have empty space. I like this arrangement slightly better. I think slightly better is enough to make the difference here. So yeah, so we're just going to put an invalid block here. Where's the invalid block? I'll tack on the invalid block a little later. That's the last thing I need to do here. And then we've got it. I'll fix the size, though. All right. Cool. That was a productive day. Yeah, I know it was a little short. We should be back to our normal, like, full streams tomorrow. Did I do this consistently? I did not. How is this? When did this one get here twice? Oops. The Y double enter is wrong. That's fine. Easy to fix. Shift H. Or this one. Shift H. There we go. All right, that's what we need to do. We did it. We'll pick this back up tomorrow. As always, I appreciate everyone here hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, same problems. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.